All right, so is it a function or is it not a function? That's what we're going to look at. So this is the retrieval, right? The 1.5 retrieval. This is going to help you for the ready and the go, which we're working on in class today on Friday. Some of you might be out. If you're out at home just enjoying the cold weather, you got nothing better to do, you're not playing your video games or on your phone, and you want to do a little bit of math work so you don't get behind, here you go. Determine whether each representation is a function or not a function. How am I going to determine that the set of data is a function or not a function? And a lot of you, it baffles me that we haven't seen this before, but I'm going to skip down to number 2, and I'm going to look at number 2 first. Okay? Is this a function or not a function? Keep in mind that these lines continue in infinite, right? Okay? Here I have this orange stick. Okay? It's actually a driveway marker. Okay? We use it in a golf for an alignment stick. But as you can see, okay, right here, if I make this a vertical line, right? If a graph passes the vertical line test, it is a function. Meaning the vertical line can only touch my function at one point at any given time. So if you see as it goes across, this is true. This vertical line only touches the function at any given time. If I had a function that was like this, okay, this line touches the function here and here at the same time. That is not a function. All right? So the bottom one down here is yes and right vertical line. Right? It passes the vertical line test, so it is a function. Well, how would I know if this one passes the vertical line test or not? Well, we could go ahead and plot points, and if we plot points on a graph, right, we end up doing something similar to this, right? If I were to plot all the points. And it looks like this if I connect all the dots, right? And again, this is just a short video, so I want to get to the point. Well, here's my vertical line. Go ahead and look at it. Right here, it does not pass the vertical line test. Well, what happened? Well, right here and right here, these two values would have the same, these 2 points would have the same x value. So let's look. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. Right here, I have repetitive x values. So this is not a function. So how do I make it a function? Well, I make it a function by having non-repeating x values. Now, we're only talking about x values. We're not talking about y values. Okay? Y values can repeat. Notice I have 2, 7, 3, 7. We didn't say anything about the y values. Okay? We said x values cannot repeat because I moved x and went up. So those x values can't repeat. All right? Now, down here it says state the domain and range of the graph. Well, remember, domain and range is x values. So, domain. What is my domain? Domain is x values. Look at your x axis, the number line of my x axis. Again, keeping in mind that these lines continue infinitely. My domain is going to be negative infinity to where? Where does it stop? It doesn't stop. Positive infinity. And then we need to talk about whether it's brackets or not. Well, I need to go back, and a lot of you remember like in elementary school where you had a number line, and let's just go 1 and -1, and you drew a circle, and then you drew a bold line and kind of did something like this. Well, if it was open, you'd use parentheses. If it was closed, you'd use brackets. So if it's open, if it continues, we want to use parentheses. Well, here it continues, so both of these are parentheses. Now we look at the range. Well, how about the range? The range is from the bottom. Where does this imaginary line first start to touch my function? Again, keep in mind, these lines keep going. Okay? It starts at negative infinity. And where does it stop? It stops right here, because after that, it's no longer on my function. Well, that is at 7. Okay, so is it open or closed? Well, this circle up here is closed, so that's going to be a bracket. This line continues, so that's a parenthesis. And then we do the same thing for the next one, right? If you got to rewind and watch this again, do it. My domain, worry about my numbers first. So my domain is x values. So where does my vertical line first touch? It touches right here, which is at -1, 2, 3. So that's -3. Where does it stop? It stops way over here on the x. Again, focus on the x at 10. They are both closed circles, so it's going to be brackets for both of them. And then my range. How about my range? Well, where does it start? It hits right here, which is at -1, and it goes up to, it goes up to right here, which is 1 just below 5, which is 4. And these are both closed circles as well, so that's going to be brackets also. So there is a little bit of reprieve in your assignment today, is to do the ready and the go. So just ask questions as you need to, right? These are going to be a little bit tough, but try it. Ask questions. Try it first, and then see if you get it right.